I'm in recovery from chronic Lyme disease, and I have to say that the recovery part was the hardest part to get to. When Western medicine failed me, my family and I worked to seek out alternative routes to find the answers that we so desperately seeked. About 6 to 9 months after my diagnosis, on a cold and rainy night, we found ourselves in a Wes Anderson-inspired living room. The furniture was very exaggerated and pointed, and there was a pretty big crowd in the room, I have to say. We were there for a spiritual workshop with an Australian healer who was very, and is still, very well known in the Lyme community. So my parents, God bless their souls, they approached the situation with an open mind and an open heart. I mean, we tried basically everything at this point, so what did we have to lose, right? So the healer starts speaking, and he starts presenting about why he thinks people today are sick. Why are so many people chronically ill? So he gives reasons, which we've all heard before, which makes sense, but still these reasons, conventional medicine rejects. Things like GMOs, and there aren't enough minerals in our soil, environmental toxicities. He's going on, and everybody's listening and engaged and believing him. And then out of the blue, he just sharply looks in my direction and exclaims, "Also, cocaine in your liver!" Right. So in that moment, I was obviously mortified because everybody saw that he had looked at me. And the first thought I really had was, oh my God, my parents are here. Now they are going to know about the one time I did a small bump of cocaine at my first high school party, amongst everything else they know. I mean, I was just trying to fit in with my cool art friends in my New York City public school, and now everybody knows. Yeah. But we moved on, and now it was time for the individual healing session with the healer. So my parents and I walked into the small room off of this living room, and the room smelled of pine and cedar and weirdly enough Skittles, but whatever works, right? So he sat down, and John is his name, said, "Okay, so I definitely see the Lyme disease, I see it, I know it's there. What have you done for it?" So I said, antibiotics, everything. What have you got for me? And he said, well, in addition to the Lyme, you also have a weird alien infection in your body. Okay. He said, the infection came in on an asteroid from space, and it came down and infected you. So now my parents think there are aliens inside my body, as well as the residual cocaine. So, we're just going along for the ride here. And so, but I have to say, no matter how crazy this all sounds, the fact that someone actually listened to me and said, and acknowledged that the things I was saying and the symptoms that I was talking about, he didn't think I was crazy. He knew it was real. And in his world and the way he heals people, he felt that that's what was going on. And he was going to do everything in his power to help me. And that's all I really needed. And that's all my parents really needed, was someone to say, this is real, and I'm going to help you. So the way he works is, he says that he's able to pick up vibrations in the body, and that every pathogen and infection has a specific vibration. So the same way when opera singers sing, and when they sing and they hit a specific pitch and the glass breaks, he says that he can detect a frequency in your body, and if it's not supposed to be there, he can scan and match the frequency and clear it from your body. Makes sense, right? It was basically the only thing that made sense. It made more sense than infectious disease doctors, so I was game. So he began to scan my body, and he didn't physically touch me or anything. He just kind of moved his hands in a certain way. And all of us were in the room, closing our eyes with anticipation, what was going to happen. Was it going to be crazier than what already happened? We didn't know. But it was actually simple and calm and zen. And he said, it's gone. And in that moment, I felt better, and that made my parents feel better. and I believed in John. We drove back to Brooklyn, and for the first time I felt comfortable being home in my parents' house. I felt comfortable being with my parents. And my dad looked to me, and for the first time since I was a very little girl, he said, "Would you like to watch an episode of The X-Files?" And I didn't know if he thought it was relevant to what or if he just felt like it was the moment to connect with me for the first time in probably a decade since I was sick. But we got real close and cuddled up on the couch, and I felt his warmth on me, and I felt safe. We watched an episode called Squeeze, which is when a serial killer can squeeze into small places, but I felt comforted by it, and so did he. And I guess the lesson in all of this is that if you keep seeking truth, the truth is out there.